The Falcons have hired Kevin Stefanski as their new head coach.
Kevin Stefanski? What?
Career in this business, it's sometimes you have to navigate tough times, and I certainly have seen my tough times, and I feel like I'm a better coach on the other side of that.
Doing it! What are you talking about? Talk to the Haslams. They're the ones who gave him every penny guaranteed, not me.
Right.
Brother, Shedeur, a member of the culture.
Yeah.
And you probably done landed in the most culturist
Of culture.
of culture.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the division screams culture.
Oh.
It ain't no blacker division than the NFC South. I'm telling you, you got Atlanta, Carolina, and New Orleans.
Carolina.
That's the blackest division in all of football.
The Atlanta Falcons just made the kind of hire that has their entire fan base ready to burn down Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Falcons brass just handed their head coaching job to Kevin Stefanski, a name that makes Atlanta natives sick to their stomachs. A man with an 8-26 record over the last 2 seasons. 8 wins, 26 losses. That's not a coaching record, that's a cry for help. That's a resume that should get you fired, not hired. But here's where it gets nuclear. This hiring comes right after Stefanski's catastrophic mismanagement of Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. The same Shedeur Sanders who's about to be a top NFL draft pick. The same quarterback who showed flashes of brilliance despite being coached by a man who seemingly had no idea how to maximize his talent. And now, Atlanta, a city that bleeds black and red, a fan base that's already suffered through 28-3 and a lifetime of playoff heartbreak, has to watch this disaster unfold in real time.
What? And he probably had a good a resume of like 2-time coach of the year.
They said they had a good dinner with him, owner of the Falcons, and before the dinner was over, they already offered him the job.
A dinner. They made this monumental decision over a dinner. Not a comprehensive interview process, not a deep dive into his recent failures, not a real conversation about how he's going to turn around a franchise that just went 8-9. A dinner with good vibes and probably some overpriced steaks sealed the deal. This is the NFL equivalent of swiping right on Tinder and proposing before the appetizers arrive. Let's talk about what Cam Newton brought to the table here, because his breakdown of this disaster is scathing. Newton didn't just criticize the hire, he dissected it with surgical precision. And when you look at the numbers side by side, his anger makes perfect sense. Raheem Morris, the man Atlanta just fired, had a 47% winning percentage, 16 wins, 18 losses over his tenure. Not spectacular, but respectable. He had this team competitive. He had them in playoff conversations. He was building something. Kevin Stefanski, a 23.5% winning percentage. That's not just bad, that's historically terrible. That's how did you keep your job this long territory.
All right, he has a 23.5% winning percentage. And Raheem the Dream, Radio Raheem, who they let go, Morris, has 16 wins, 18 losses, a 47% winning percentage. Cam, the other guy came from worse to worse.
From worse to worse. That's not hyperbole, that's mathematics. The Falcons literally downgraded based on pure statistical analysis. They looked at 2 coaches, saw one had double the winning percentage of the other, and said, nah, we want the guy who loses more. What kind of backwards thinking is this? But here's where the plot thickens. Matt Ryan's involvement. The Falcons' legend, the franchise quarterback who gave Atlanta everything, is now their VP of football operations. And this is his first major move? Bringing in a coach whose recent track record suggests he couldn't coach a Pop Warner team to victory? The optics are devastating. The substance is even worse. DC Young Fly, Atlanta native, cultural icon, and the voice of a furious city, didn't hold back either. His viral rant captured the raw emotion of a fan base that feels betrayed, disrespected, and utterly bamboozled by their own front office.
your ass, bro. We want Shedeur, ugly ass nigga. The fuck, then y'all don't win and got mad at the fucking VP, and this the first decision you gon' do?
The pain in that statement is palpable. This wasn't supposed to be how Matt Ryan's front office career started. He was supposed to be the guy who understood Atlanta, who got the culture, who knew what this team needed because he lived it for over a decade. Instead, his first major decision looks like organizational malpractice. Now let's address the elephant in the room, Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback Stefanski just finished coaching, or rather mismanaging, in Cleveland. Shedeur showed incredible talent, poise under pressure, and the kind of mental fortitude that screams future franchise quarterback. And what did Stefanski do with that talent? He wasted it, completely and utterly wasted it. Cam Newton didn't dance around this point. He went straight for the jugular, questioning who has actually gotten better under Stefanski's coaching. And the answer? Crickets. Even Myles Garrett, one of the most dominant defensive players in the NFL, was already elite before Stefanski showed up.
Who has gotten better from the player's perspective that you can hang your hat on?
So I coached this guy. I made his career.
You definitely can't say that about Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett was one of them ones.
This is the critical question every Falcons fan should be asking. If Stefanski couldn't develop talent in Cleveland, why should we believe he'll do it in Atlanta? Because here's the reality. The Falcons have young talent. Michael Penix Jr. is their quarterback of the future. Drake London is an emerging star receiver. Kyle Pitts still has all-pro potential. Bijan Robinson is a dynamic running back who needs a coach who can maximize his versatility. These players need development. They need a coach who can take raw talent and refine it into championship-caliber performance. They need someone with a proven track record of player development. Kevin Stefanski is not that coach. His resume proves it. His recent results scream it.
Players, from what we've seen,
Yeah.
don't get better with Kevin Stefanski. And I'm looking at the personnel of the Atlanta Falcons. They're a young team. You got Michael Penix as your quarterback.
That right there should be echoing through every Falcons fan's mind right now. Players don't get better under Stefanski. This isn't speculation. This isn't hot take material. This is observable reality based on years of evidence. And here's the kicker that makes this situation even more absurd. Stefanski's offensive philosophy. He's supposed to be this offensive guru, right? Two-time coach of the year? That sounds impressive on paper. But when you actually watch his offenses operate, when you see the conservative play calling, the inability to adjust mid-game, the failure to maximize quarterback potential, it all falls apart. Shedeur Sanders should have thrived in an NFL offense. He had the tools, he had the intelligence, he had the leadership. But Stefanski's system didn't elevate him, it constrained him.
And now, Atlanta is supposed to believe that same coach will unlock Michael Penix Jr.'s potential? The math isn't mathing. Let's talk about the cultural aspect too, because Cam Newton brought this up and is crucial to understanding why this hire feels so wrong. Atlanta isn't just another NFL city, it's the black cultural capital of America. The music, the fashion, the energy, it all flows through Atlanta.
DB, back to you. She's exactly right. Everybody counted them out.
That statement hits different when you understand the context. The NFC South, Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina, represents something deeper than just football. It represents culture, community, and connection. And when your first major front office move shows a complete disconnect from that culture, it stings differently. This isn't about race. This is about understanding your market, your fan base, your city. It's about making decisions that show you get where you are and who you're representing. And this hire suggests the Falcons front office is completely out of touch with their own identity. The comparison to the Oregon Ducks that Cam made earlier is perfect here. Oregon cruised through an easy schedule, looked dominant, and then got exposed when they faced real competition. Sound familiar? That's Stefanski's Cleveland tenure in a nutshell. He inherited a talented roster, underperformed for 2 straight seasons, and now he's being rewarded with a better job? Make it make sense. Here's what should terrify Falcons fans even more. The division is loaded with young, innovative coaches. The Buccaneers are building something special. The Saints have a defensive identity. Even the Panthers, despite their struggles, are trying to establish a clear direction. And Atlanta just hired a retread whose best days, if they even existed, are clearly behind them. The Saints have a defensive mastermind. The Bucs have an offensive innovator. And the Falcons have a guy who went 8-26 the last 2 years? In what universe does this math work out in Atlanta's favor?
Come on, Matty. You putting us on ice.
That statement encapsulates everything. Matt Ryan, the beloved franchise icon, just put his team on ice with his first major decision. He had a chance to make a statement, to bring in a young, innovative mind, to signal that Atlanta was ready to compete at the highest level. Instead, he brought in a coach whose recent history suggests he's anything but the answer. The saddest part? This didn't have to happen. There were other candidates, better candidates, coaches with winning records, coaches with proven track records of developing young talent, coaches who would have energized the fan base instead of demoralizing it. But Atlanta chose familiarity over excellence. They chose the safe choice over the right choice. And now Cam Newton and the entire city of Atlanta is left wondering what the hell just happened. This isn't just a bad hire. This is an organizational indictment. This is proof that the Falcons front office is fundamentally broken. Because if this is what they consider a home run hire, what does that say about their evaluation process? What does that say about their standards? Kevin Stefanski is now the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and unless something dramatically changes, unless he somehow discovers a coaching ability he hasn't shown in 2 years, this is going to end exactly how everyone expects it to end. Badly. Very badly. Atlanta deserves better. The fans deserve better. The players deserve better.